I am Sarah Gager of Mata & Gager, LLP. I have always wanted to be an attorney. Since before I can remember what I've wanted to do. I would joke around with friends, you know, maybe we wanted to be veterinarians or whatever, but when I started being serious about what I wanted to do, it has always been to become a lawyer, to help people, to help the underdog and the less fortunate. And all through high school, that was my dream, and then college, obviously, and then directly to law school. So there's never been another option. I started practicing law in 2003, so 16 years, and I started in Springfield, Mass. I worked for a couple of small real estate firms prior to opening my own practice, where I practiced juvenile law in Springfield and Holyoke, and I also did real estate closings. My favorite part of being an attorney is that I get to help people, and I get to help people in a lot of different ways. So nothing is ever boring in this office. We have extremely interesting clients, we have extremely interesting cases, and I get to help people move forward with their lives. I like to tell people that Maxine and I met at another local law firm. And by day 2 of she had already been there for a little while, so by day 2 of my being there, we knew we were going to open a practice together. And then 6 years later we did, in a tiny one-room office, and it was fabulous. And we've just grown from there. We just connected almost immediately. We are friends outside of work, and so that just kind of transfers back into the office. The mission of our firm is to represent our clients with as much compassion and care as possible. All of our clients are in stressful situations, whether it's buying a house, selling a house, being injured at work, or going through the probate process. So we try to meet them where they are and move them forward. My philosophy for client service is to listen. They have a story to tell and they need to get it off their chests. And the only way that I'm going to know how best to represent them is if I listen to what they're saying and take it in, because they might be thinking that they're going to have one type of case when it's a completely different type of case. So you can't represent them properly unless you're listening to everything that they say. Real estate law sort of fell into my lap. When I first started practicing in Massachusetts, I was approached by a larger law firm who was looking for attorneys in the Springfield area to do real estate closing. So when we decided to open our own practice, it just kind of made sense to do something that I already had knowledge of, and to do something that I already knew about. So I joined a local networking group and met a fabulous real estate agent who I work closely with still, and then from there expanded my circle of real estate agents, and that's who really get you the business. So it's good to have a lot of those as your friends. But I also am friends with a couple of lenders, and they can funnel business as well. So it's good to keep your friends close. When representing a buyer, my job is to deal with the lender and get all the numbers, all the information that the lender has, and to make the buying process as easy for the buyer as possible. Any issues that come up, and believe me, they come up a lot, whether it's issue with the lender, numbers, amounts of money that need to be exchanged either before or after closing or whatever, or issues with the selling side, those all get worked out through me. And my job has been done well if the buyer never knows there was a problem. That's the way I like to keep it. Because if they know there's a problem, then they're worrying about it, and then when it's my job to worry about it. Most of the time, a lot of times it's a first-time home buyer, and they're very nervous. It's a huge, huge thing that they're doing. It's a lot of money that they're spending, so they want to make sure that the process is going properly. We in this office take the time to meet the buyers before closing and to have a relationship with them prior to closing, so that they are comfortable with us, when they come and sit down at the closing table. We like to make it a fun and easy atmosphere at closing so that the buyers can carry forward really happy memories of their biggest asset purchase. Cases in probate are extremely different. There's conservatorship work that I do, and so to approach that, I would meet with clients once I get appointed as either conservator of person or estate, meet with them to go over honestly their lives and how they go through life. So meeting with them to talk about what services they might need, if they need Title 19 applications or Medicaid applications filed. If I am just their conservator of estate, I need to know what bills need to be paid and what banks they use so that I can go into the community and do what needs to be done. Decedent's estate work, meeting with families who are grieving, and it's a difficult time for them, and so I approach those. I want to take as much of the burden off of them as possible. So that they don't have to deal with the nitty-gritty closing of accounts and filing probate paperwork, and they can go through the grieving process the way that they need to. I chose to practice probate law because, again, it's something that I can help people move forward with their lives, whether it's as their conservator, to move them forward through social services or into nursing homes if that's what needs to happen. So the wills and trust part of probate lets me help people leave a legacy and lets me help people move forward with the grieving process. So families don't have to worry about final decisions. They can just be a family member. All the decisions have been made. The doctors know what is needed. The funeral homes know what's needed. They don't have to do anything. They can just grieve and be the family instead of worrying about everything else. When a client comes into the office, they should expect to have a warm welcome and to hopefully feel comfortable talking about whatever issues are going on in their lives. They should be prepared for me to get to know them and for them to get to know me. It's going to be a very close relationship, whatever we're working on, and we need to see eye to eye and to listen to each other. So it's going to be a very intense first meeting, but hopefully it'll be one that leaves them comfortable with my skills and with my presence in their lives. I am honestly most proud of the growth that we have had. We started out in a one-room office. Maxine came in full-time. I was still at our previous firm full-time and kind of working on the side for us. And then in the 7 years that we have been practicing together, we have grown 1,000%. I mean, it's just, the growth has been amazing. So I'm definitely, we live and work in an area that is inundated with other small firms doing the exact same things that we do. So the fact that we have grown as much as we have is what I'm most proud of. Thank you for coming to learn a little bit more about me, and I look forward to learning more about you.